What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back at you with a review of the new album that Charlie Puth has just released called Charlie. Now I want to do this video because I've done a couple of album reviews in the past, but at the same time I've also reacted to some of the singles off the bat of this album on my channel, and I'll leave the link below to them if you want to check them out for more in-depth review of some of Charlie Puth's songs. But today I just wanted to talk about the album, obviously because it's just come out a week ago and I've listened to it many times, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on the album, especially as someone who's actually a little bit of a fan of Charlie Puth, so I'm going to try and be unbiased as possible. But again, we're just going to talk about some of the cooler songs on the album, what I actually think of the overall album, as well as just, again, individual songs. So if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button if you like this sort of content, and let's talk about this album. So again, Charlie Puth released his album, but a lot of the album had already been released in the form of singles, which is a very common music strategy now in terms of marketing. A lot of bands are doing this where you release songs early, but the marketing for it has been so different and so original in so many different ways. Like, you've seen the way that Charlie Puth has created a whole TikTok trend by himself just in like sort of the build up to this album coming out. You had all the TikToks where he breaks down the songs, show how he made them, and that's really cool, and so many artists have been inspired by that. The influence this album's actually had on the music industry, especially on TikTok and short form content, has been incredible. Like, I cannot emphasize enough that Charlie Puth has already inspired so many people to create more content, to be more creative with their content just off this. I mean, you saw it started with Light Switch when he was creating that, the whole facade he was making up in the TikToks with like his label releasing the album, creating that anticipation for when the album was actually going to come out. Again, like the way this album's been marketed is actually flawless. I cannot fault it in any way, and I think it's revolutionary, and I think that you're going to see a lot of artists maybe utilizing content a little bit more like this going forward now, and I think it has completely changed the way that you can actually market music. I haven't even talked about the album yet, but I just wanted to talk about that point because it's just been incredible, and I'm sure loads of you have enjoyed, probably learned something about music production from watching Charlie Puth's videos. So yeah, so the first track on the album is That's Hilarious. I believe it was either the second or third song that he released previously to the album coming out, and it's already garnered 78 million streams, so people are really vibing it. I feel like it's been out a while now, and we all know this song, and I think I did a reaction to this video, which I will leave in the link below if you want to check that out for more in-depth review of the song. But I love it. It's a really good way to start the album. It's really hard-hitting. It starts really subtle, so like the dynamic changes from the verse to the chorus is massive, and Charlie Puth loves to do that in his songs, and like, yeah, it's a real sort of good vibe meets like, you know, sad context, and I think that's a common theme throughout this album you're going to hear. If you listen to the lyrics, like there's a lot of songs where the meaning of the song is quite sad, but the actual production makes it feel uplifting. So there's this real nice dynamic of happy and sad that plays out throughout this album and all the songs, and I really vibe with it because it makes it a really nice listening experience, but also all the songs is something that's relatable to a lot of people, so a lot of people vibe with this album because of that. So that's really cool, and I think That's Hilarious makes it the perfect way to start the album. And then we got track number 2, which is Charlie Be Quiet. Now this is a really cool one. We'd heard, I think there was a couple of little TikTok snippets, but we hadn't had too much given away by this song. It's already got 7 million streams on Spotify in a week, so people are definitely vibing it as track 2 on the album, and I do think it really fits the nice flow for the album. It's a really good sort of progression on from That's Hilarious, especially if you're listening to the album from 1 to 12. It makes sense. It's very similar to That's Hilarious in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's a really good song. It's not one of my favorite songs on the album, but it is a good song. So yeah, it's a vibe. Now number 3, we have Light Switch. Now this is the big flagship song on the album. Already got 360 million streams. Countless TikToks have been using the sound, and like, yeah, this song is like one of the biggest songs of the year, or it's definitely like, in terms of pop music, like, yeah, everyone I think would have heard this song at this point, and like, it's just like, it was a proper Charlie Puth song. How, like, if you listen to it, the dynamic changes and the development this song has while keeping it simplistic at the same time just makes it for a really like good pop production. And like, the emphasize, like, as producers, you don't always have to overcomplicate it to make something that sounds absolutely amazing. And again, it's the Charlie Puth blueprint for a song. I think that's why it's the first song that he released, because it's literally the blueprint for a Charlie Puth song, Light Switch, and it's hella catchy. And not to mention, a common theme on this album as well is using your everyday sounds, like doorknobs to the flicker of a light switch to creaking doors, everything like that, to make extra textures for album. Really, Charlie Puth is almost at his full producing capability when he's making this album. Now number 4 is actually one of my favorite songs on the album, and there's a first time for everything. I absolutely love this song. It really incorporates more of like the synths and pads and Rhodes, and I love that sort of vibe, and especially like, it's got a little bit more of an 80s vibe to it, and I love it, and I'm all for it, especially the drums. Like, this is a real like energy song on the album, number 4. At this point, you've already listened to 3 songs which are really sort of hard hitting, with light switch being a bit more delicate, and then you've got this real nice driving epic song in There's First Time for Everything. And I absolutely love this song. This is one of my favorite songs of the album, as I said. It comes at number 4, and it's the fact it's only got 1 million streams, which makes it one of the least streamed songs in the album so far. I really think people are missing a trick with this album. Have a listen to it. It's a really fun song to listen to, and I absolutely I really think it's one of the better ones, to be honest. So at number 5, it slowly starts to mellow down a bit, get a little bit more onto the emphasis of sort of like an emotional context. The lyrics with Smells Like Me. This song's a little bit more of a chill one, where it takes its foot off the pedal in terms of the dynamic of the album at track number 5. And I just think, again, this is a really nice, delicate and a very pretty song. And although it still encompasses all the things that is good about Charlie Productions, like the use of layered vocals especially, and this chorus is especially one of the more hooky ones in terms of remembering it. Like it's a really, really good song, and I just love the chord progression in it, like how it goes from major to minor to really add to the feel of the song for what he's singing. And it's a really depressing song when you actually listen to the lyrics of it, but again, overall it was a really solid song, and I like this one. Again, one of my more favourite songs on the album, and it goes up to number 6, which is Left and Right, which is one of the it's the only collaboration that he's done on the album, and that is with one of the members of BTS. And this was a really cool song. This one's going to do very well, mainly because like the pull that it's going to get from BTS, and I can see it's already got 213 million streams. So this album is already racking up an insane amount of streams, and that is the power of releasing singles before an album. So if you're any artists are watching this is called a Waterfall Strategy. Where you release more songs for the album, so when the album is actually released, you've already got streams behind the album. So Charlie Puth has released this album, and from the first second it's been released, it's got over 500 million streams, which is absolutely incredible. So again, it's already a majorly popular album. But Left and Right, again, like it's your classic Charlie Puth song. It's got the really like funky bass line with the simple drums. There's nothing too complex going on in this production, but I kind of like that. It's just exactly like what we come to expect from him. So again, it's a really solid song. Then we get to number 7. Now this is the song I was very excited to listen to, and this was Loser. And this one had been teased from the beginning when he started doing his TikToks, but I was always wondering when it's going to get released. And I think I know why he didn't release this till literally a week before the album, is because this probably is now going to be the song that's going to get pushed the most. It has a music video, which, for those who haven't watched a music video, it's actually really good, high production. So clearly this is the song after Light Switch now, which is going to get more of the attention, probably more of the playing live. And again, like, not only is it just like everything in a Charlie Puth song, very simple production, but it's hella catchy. And I love the bridge, because loads of people were recreating this song and just sort of like copying and pasting, thinking that they got an idea how this song was. I thought it was going to be a very simple song and almost a bit repetitive. But that bridge, like, that he does in there with the Mama Eyes, like, it's just not only hella catchy, but it's just like, it sounds absolutely incredible. It's like the harmonies and like the stack of vocals, and it was such a nice development in the song to keep it going. And again, like, it made it really easy to listen to because you just wanted it again. And that's one thing that Charlie Puth does very well with his pop productions, is subtle changes throughout, but changing up ideas, which makes you want to go back round again just so you can hear them again. And Loser's the best example of that, and that's why Loser's already doing really well, in my opinion. Like, I can't believe it's only got 3 million streams on Spotify, because, you know, the music video has already got over 5 million views, and it's like, it's really good. It's a really, really good song, and it's sitting at number 7, so it's one to look forward to. And I do think, in terms of the album flow so far, it's a very good place to put it, because after that one, that's when the album starts to slow down, with song number 8, When You're Sad, I'm Sad, which is more of like a reminiscence to the first album Charlie Puth released, where we get more of the natural piano sound. And I love as well, from a production point of view, where he goes for the double-tracked vocals to mix up the sounds. It's really good to see these sorts of developments, so not every song is the same. And so yeah, I really enjoy this one. It's a really nice break, a really nice ballad, and the message behind the song as well is really nice as well. So it was a really nice chill sort of change up halfway through the album, which I do think, like, when it's like on an old vinyl, when you flip to the B-side, normally the vibe of the album would change up a little bit. And I do think, like, you know, for the sort of B-side of the album, which I think we're now on because we're over halfway through, like, this is a really nice song. It's only got 858,000 streams, but I definitely think this one is a slow burn. I think this isn't one of those, it's not going to be one of the most popular, but I think a lot of Charlie Puth fans are going to love this for a different reason, to get a break from the high energy songs that is very persistent on this album. So we get to track number 9, and this, if I'm being honest, this is my most skipped song on the album. Marks on My Neck, like, again, like, it's a really nice sort of change up again, where, like, it gets more high energy again. I would have quite liked to have something a little bit more slower after Marks on My Neck, so we could have a really nice listening experience where we sort of chill for a bit longer. So Marks on My Neck, again, like, it is my most skipped song, if I am being honest. It would be foolish of me to say that I absolutely love every song on the album, because, you know, there's always going to be songs that you can honestly say you don't prefer as much, even if you love the artist and you love it. And again, Marks My Neck, like, it's a decent song. For some reason, it reminded me of like this One Direction sort of vibe. Don't know why. I think it's just like the sort of like the way that the song drives on, and like it's quite like hard hitting or like on the beat kind of song, which, you know, it's good, but again, like, it just wants me, it didn't keep my retention as much. I feel like after listening to it for like the end of the first chorus, I wasn't hooked into the song. But again, like, you know, there's so many good, really good songs on this album that it gets a pass. And it's a similar thing with Tears on My Piano. I do think this is a good song. Again, like, mixing it up again, this one again sounds unique. And I feel like the whole album at this point, this late on, is taking a little bit of a different vibe that we've had. And again, like, I don't have much to say about Tears on My Piano because I listened to it a couple of times, but it's not one of my favourite songs. I do think that track 9 and 10 is the part of the album where I kind of just want to get to the last two songs, because the last two songs are ones that I really vibe and I want to talk about. And the first one of that, number 11, is I Don't Like Her. Now, this song, when this came out and I listened to it, I was like, yes, this is exactly the sort of thing that I expect and vibe from a Charlie Puth song. You got the muted guitar, you got the really nice like driven bass line and the drums as well. And the chorus is just hella hooky in it. And I love, like, similar to That's Hilarious, where there's them stamps on the beat, which just make the chorus hit so much harder. It's a song I absolutely vibe, and it's got 12 million streams, and so people are definitely vibing it, especially as it helps that it was released as a single. But I do love this song again, like, and I think it's good that it's put towards the end, because it gives me something to look forward to later in the album. So as terms of track placement, I'm all for it, and I did like this song a lot, which leads me on to the last song, which I have to say is one of my favorite songs on the album. And I think the placement of this is really good, because I feel like a lot of people vibe this, and that is No More Drama. I think contextually, the way that it ends with this one is because the whole of this album has sort of been telling a story where a lot of storylines and context to songs you can feel relate to certain situations in Charlie's life, and he's been through them. And we get to the last song where it's no more drama and like everything's good. So you've been on this journey, and the last song's just a bit of a feel-good, like light-hearted one, and it feels like a really nice last chapter in the album. So again, I'm like all for it, and like it may be the last song of the album, but it doesn't have the least amount of streams, so that says something, because typically, you know, that's how it can go. But No More Drama, it takes a really nice like swinging beat, and it's just so different to anything else on the album, and I think that's what's really great about it. And it's one of the things where you love it so much, you listen to it, it makes you want to go around the album again to get to it if you're listening to it like that. But yeah, No More Drama, like, I love the vibe behind it. I think it's something that a lot of people are going to enjoy and also relate to. So again, I think that's why it's going to do a lot better than people think it does. And I would love to see a music video for that, because I think a music video for that song would be very cool indeed. So yeah, I haven't done an overly technical analysis of individual songs on this album, because this video would then be really too long. So comment below which song you want me to do a technical analysis of and break down from a songwriting and production point of view, and I'll be happy to do so. Whichever one is recommended the most, I will do. Maybe I'll do a couple of songs, try to get some more reaction videos out there for songs. But I hope you enjoyed my little thoughts on this album, my little reaction video to this album. If you did, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you want to see some more in-depth analysis of Charlie Puth productions and songs, then I'll leave a link below to the 2 reaction videos that I've done for Light Switch, That's Hilarious, and also Left and Right as well. I've done a reaction for as well. So if you want to check them out, again, I'll leave them below in the description. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and you enjoy my waffling on, and keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.